I did it my way, my story of love, betrayal, regret, and wisdom. What Vibhuti inspired me really to share this story, it was basically my whole journey, my whole life, which I have spent where I've made so many mistakes in my life with regards to my personal life, my children, my wife, my friends, business, family. And those mistakes have also had a long-term effect on all of them, including my family, children, my friend, business, everything. And we're not realizing that those mistakes, how this would affect the future of my children, my family, my friends, my business. And I did make those mistakes, and they have had long-term effects on everybody.
It cleans you up from inside when you start admitting about your follies in life, everything which you have gone through. It's a cleansing process.
It was a convoluted journey. I mean, the first 18 years of my life, as you grow older, especially as a late teenager into college days, you really start to think about your father. And that's really where it started to evolve, that I really would like to understand who my dad is. There's two sides of every story. My mother obviously had her own experiences, but I really wanted to know my dad's side. I think it's important to give everybody an opportunity. I saw his shortcomings. There were a lot of truth to a lot of the things that were said, but there was also a lot of sincerity in his wanting to get to know his kids, which I felt very deeply.
People talk about failures. People have spoken about failures, but people rarely talk about mistakes. People hide their mistakes and tell the world how strong they are and what they did. It takes guts to be vulnerable. So I found that very, very liberating to narrate.
If people realize that if you take a step, it doesn't affect only you or pains you or benefits you, but it changes the life of so many people around you. And that is where we all make mistakes, because we have our ego and we have our own, we feel that we are doing the right thing, but you're not always doing the right thing. And I never thought about that. And I just took the leap of faith and did it, but it changed a lot of lives around you. And that is what it's all about. And that's what I want to pass on to my viewers or whoever reads this book, is that think before you leap.
I know Rajan Lall since 1982. I was looking for work. I had come to the city on 3rd of June 1981. Those days it will happen that you will meet director producers, you will knock at their doors, production offices. But Saab was very good because he used to pick up, Mahesh Bhatt used to pick up his own phone. So once I called him up and I said, I'm Anupam Kher, I'm from the National School of Drama. He says, Kal aa jao, 11-12 baje. So when I went and met him, Saab was remembered my name, so I remembered. Then when I came down, on the ground floor was a small shack kind of a place, and this gentleman, Rajan Lall, was sitting out there. He said, chai piyoge? So I said, how in Mumbai somebody is asking me for a cup of tea? Touched by his, not only his hospitality, when you're looking for work and you're an educated actor, you want to be recognized as a human being, as a person. Otherwise, people see you as part of the crowd. I think that's how I remember Rajan.
Certain virtues as a human being fascinate me about him. He has real connections. Not many people can boast about real connection in today's time, but he does have some real connections. with a few people in his life and friends.
He's a very good friend, I'll tell you one thing. Like I said, I started with calling him uncle because I thought he was my dad's friend. Then I saw that relationship kind of change. I said, he's my father really mentors him. He's like a son to my father. I think looking from the outside, we could see that relationship. So then, of course, when I started calling him Rajan. But Rajan, I think, has been a great friend. I know if I ever need him for anything, he'll be there. And he'll always stand by you as a good friend.
He was one of those guys who, while on your way to destination, you take a little moment under this big tree, and it gives you a certain amount of shade and makes you feel that life is going to be beautiful.
I have so many fondest memory about my mother. My mother was my strength, my motivational power, and the most positive person that I've met in my life. And that is the reason why I am so positive always. I hate negative people. I hate negativity. Old people, after they become old, your children or your close one, do not touch them. That what I used to do? I used to go and hug my mother. I used to kiss her. I used to hold her, and she used to shiver. Because the touch is very important, the personal human touch. And when she was lying down, I used to go and lie down with her and just hug her and whisper in her ear, "I love you, Mom." And she used to shiver. I found out that by holding her and touching her and telling her that I love her, I think she lived to be 95. Because that's all they look forward to at that age. What else do they want? They want the love, affection, the human touch. And these things I think you should give to your parents or your old people, whoever they are. I do miss her a lot, and especially today being her birthday. I do miss her a lot, and I remember her a lot.
I bless my side, and I'm so happy. I'm proud of him.
So first of all, I feel really honored that Rajan involved me for his book launch, and I think more so as a representative of that. So that was a very, very big honor for me because I know how much my father meant to him. It's like Rajan has, kept his memories alive. If you go to his home in Dubai, or for that matter, dedicating this book also to him is really quite overwhelming. And I was really so happy to be here because everyone here today, there is such a connect, right, with my father. And I have really sweet memories of all of them partying together and spending time together, having fun together. So those are the memories of, Rajan, my father, and Shatru uncle, and everyone else. So yeah, it was quite a beautiful moment.
That Saab came into my life about 25 years back. It's been nearly 17 years since he has passed away. And he created a lot of impact on me. And I learned a lot, saw a lot, because he is one person who has faced difficulty, downturns, mishaps, suffering like no other man that I have known. And how he has surpassed it and come out of it is something I learned from him. And that gave me a lot of strength, inner strength inside to be like him. The most important person in my life. And that is why today I've dedicated this book to Sai Baba and my mother and to Dutt Saab.
Life is events of memories, according to me. And I saw a picture of mine with my wife Kiran, maybe 35 years old picture. And it's so beautiful.
There's an old picture of his parents clicked in a studio in Karachi. And what is striking about that picture is she was Jewish, he was Punjabi, and they were courting. And that picture was taken before they got married. So they had the guts to go to a studio and click a picture because the picture has a caption which says, "Before marriage."
I think there's a picture of me and her and my brother when my father standing together. She used to look so beautiful and she carried herself so well. She always dressed up for my father when he came home in the evening. These are things which I remember.
One picture that I particularly like is there is a party going on. Lots of Bollywood stars around and he is lying in between them like this. As a young boy, that picture shows he was closely associated with Bollywood in a different level. So that picture is very telling about the environment that he grew up in. So that picture says quite a lot of the book.
See, the pictures which she left behind, about 20 or 30 albums, is the legacy she left behind for me. And that was her documentation of their life. and they were lying with me. And it's through this book that I have brought them all to life. These pictures are nearly 100 years old, and nobody has seen them.
These kinds of vintage pictures are, irreplaceable. They're unique, very difficult to find in family legacies. So I think that was a very special gift that my dad got from my grandmother, and I hope he gives it to me, because I will cherish to give it to my daughters.
He had a lavish lifestyle even then. He was fond of good cars, and I was struggling nobody. I did have a parking space, but I did not have a car. तो एक दिन बड़ी ग्रेसफुली बेचारा आया मेरे पास, तेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है मगर पार्किंग स्पेस है, मेरे पास गाड़ी है मगर पार्किंग स्पेस. And then that began our story.
Rajan is the dear darling. He's the most hospitable, most generous man I've ever met in my life. And he's just taken such good care of us whenever we've gone to Dubai. So I'll never forget the way you looked after us as if we were your family. And I'll also never forget this garage in Greenacres, because it was the cutest place and he had the biggest heart, and he still has.
Friend, best host. When you go to Dubai, he spoils you rotten. One day the Bentley came, one day the Rolls Royce came, and I said, Rajan, no more. In the hotel, they were wondering, who's this guy who's sending me all the cars?
मैं दुबई में जब भी जाता हूँ, राजन की यहाँ रहता हूँ, ये साला बढ़ता खिला खिला के मेरे को हॉस्पिटल भिजवा देता है. यानी वन वुमन मैन एट ए टाइम, ये धर्म जी ने मुझे सिखाया था. वह इसका रिकॉर्ड तोड़ते हुए कोई नज़र आया तो हमारे दोस्त राजन लाल, जो मल्टीटास्किंग में बिलीव करने लगे और मल्टी वुमन एट ए टाइम हो गई है. और शशि रंजन जी हमेशा कहते हैं कि राजन लाल की ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं रही कि किससे शादी करें, इनकी प्रॉब्लम ये रही कि किससे शादी ना करें.
I would like to do some mistakes what you have done and be like you when I grow up like you.
At this age of 78, you've worked all your life, slogged, and you've earned whatever it is. Time now, I think, to give myself what I want to do and give it a break and enjoy life and do what I want to do. And that is what I'm doing.
And I'm glad that he's enjoying that. And I'm sure people are going to like it, because anything which comes from heart has an impact.
So for me, book launch is an incident. My importance is all the friends who are wanting to be together and come for my book launch, and the love and respect that they have. And that's what they are all coming for. And that is the whole intention of this book launch today.
This feeling that our friend is back here on his motherland, I can say. And he is among all of us once again with something which is his soul and life.
I always believe there are certain relationships which are like a pause button on a tape recorder. You just have to press the button and the relationship starts from where you left. Rajan is not only flamboyant, I think he is also a kind. He's a typical, in a good sense, that Punjabi guy who lives life.
He's a fearless man. He really swims against the tide. He had always told me, he said, when you come into this world, you don't have anything. When you leave the world, you don't have anything. What's to fear?
Rajan does everything larger than life, right? And he has a style of doing everything. It will be so interesting to see this one person whom we've known half our lives, okay? And now we'll really get to know him through this book.
My association, my company, at the time we spent together, it cannot be put on the record. I love him, and he is a very, very dear friend and a very fair man. May God bless him, and it's good to have a friend like him. All the best.
My first impression of Rajan Lall was a flashy, flamboyant, feisty dude with a swag.
I went to his house a few years ago, just for 3-4 days. I was transiting to Turkey. I cancelled the Turkey program and I stayed at his house for a month. I don't think anybody would allow that. And he never had a frown on his face. I just said, Rajan, I'd like to be in your company. I just like to be where you are. And he said, Ketan, it's a pleasure to have you.
I realized that behind that flamboyant, flashy facade was a very gentle, kind, very loving, caring host and a friend who looked after you, who were there when you needed him.
All I would say is a message that we exchanged this morning, where I said, you defy, हम नहीं सुधरेंगे, because तुमने सब कुछ सुधार लिया है. I'm envious of people who live multiple lives in their one life. मान गए यार. Love you, Rajan.
I feel sad that I didn't experience a family life and get to know my father as much as I'd like to. But I'd like to tell everyone out there that your true wealth is not money, it's family. So don't ever take family for granted and cherish every moment with them. And I love you, Papa, and all the best.
Thank you, Rajan sir, for this opportunity. And my eyes well when I talk about it, because it's been more than a book for me. It's a relationship I share with you that's most precious. And the book is just, I think, a medium to reach that relationship. Thank you.
I just want to say that, Rajan, you're a rock star and you've always been one. So I just live your life to the fullest, and I think what's great, that have no regrets. And like you titled your book, that you did it your way, that's exactly how you should live.
That you continue to live life the way you're living. I mean, we're jealous. That I wish I could live as freely as he lives his life.
आज उससे ज़्यादा मैं समझता हूँ, जानता हूँ और मानता हूँ कि राजन लाल हैं. राजन लाल के नाम के आगे पीछे अब कुछ लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ये सबके हैं, सर्वजन प्रिय हैं और सर्वदल प्रिय हैं.
God bless you, Rajan bhai, and many more endeavors like this.
But I'll tell you one thing, his heart is like an octopus which has tentacles full of love. And I love him from that. Thank you, Rajan.
And I'm sure it's going to be a big hit because he's written everything from the heart.
No, I'm glad he did it his way, because that's the only way to do it. It's not what the money you have or the property or what you have. We just like to be remembered as a nice guy who was very friendly and loving. And that is what is important. Like they remember Latsal. I would like to be remembered like that.